Ku tam me lunu dees mead. Welcome one and all to the...
Snodford will be here
Gainsboro,
in...
I didn't even say come in. I'm recording. What? No, don't! Come in, Gainsboro.
Snodford will be here in an hour for the exchange, Mr. Crevice.
Yes, I'm aware. I do have a clock in here, you know.
Right.
And you don't need to keep adding the inverted commas. He's dropping off his key and collecting his box. It's not a hostage situation.
So you still haven't changed?
No. Get me incarcerated once, shame on you. Thrice is where I draw the line.
But where is he going to go?
No, honestly, he's a centuries-old chaos squid, not a puppy.
No. A puppy would have an easy time finding a new home.
Oh, my me. Look, I have work to do. Just go play with your rocks, would you? Ah, where was I? Oh, snod it. Welcome to Hammerlock, I suppose. As you can see, things are looking a lot less spattered with blood. I did as I threatened and cleaned the place up using my awesome divine powers. Ahem. Well, it was that or risk the seagull in a wastebasket I call a computer bursting into flames. Looks better, no? We're still full of sheep, but we can't have everything. Speaking of, here's the elves. We're following Imara Decent Incenses. We'll be the judge of that. Elves means it's springtime again, which means we find ourselves now in the 36th year. Named the year of the awe-inspiring apex by our Ushildu-seamed dwarves. Dwarves getting excited about mountains. Stop the presses, right? It's been 17 years since Hammerlock was founded. The blink of an eye for a dwarf. Less than that for elves. Like when your eye twitches, maybe. For us, though, that's 9 months. Good me, is it really? Blimey. Anyway, get set up, elves. Midcott will be out shortly. Now, here's Moldath. It's been a good long while since we checked in on our Duke, and as you can see, that's because he's doing very well. Still zany, and it's that screwball attitude that lets him deal with all the moaning that he gets from the less happy members of the fortress. But then, he's got it easy. Never seen him have to deal with tinfoil on the toilet bowl. And before you start, yes, I know it's usually plastic wrap in those pranks, but Snot knows I hate seeing my reflection from crotch level. It's very unflattering. Anyway, our Duke isn't afraid to get his hands dirty, and you can often find him engaged in any one of the low skill but high importance tasks that keep everything ticking over, up to and including basic hauling. He's a model citizen, if a little keen on filling the stockpiles with crossbows, figurines, and coins. I did think the latter could be utilized to construct a Scrooge McDuck-style bank vault, but dropped items are of course intangible unless grasped individually. That's how quantum stockpiles work. Oh, and he's off to perform his ducal duty. I wonder who it is he's actually meeting with. Ah, Amost. A quick one, though Dwarf Fortress time is tricksy. Here's the fellow. Oh, and apparently shouting at Moldath didn't help his mood all that much. Look at all those needs. Craft an object, be with family, be with friends, martial training, be creative, and then just excitement. Obviously, we're pushing him far too hard. He's doing nothing but threshing, that is to say, processing plants. It's too bad he doesn't consider producing usable plant fibers from useless plant material, crafting an object, but I suppose it's not like he can hold up some bits of string and proclaim himself a legendary thresher. Oh, he does. Yes, I'm migrating to digital artwork, but haven't had time to update all the assets. Beast Akmam has come. Akmam was actually created with the express purpose of removing creepy crawlies from the basement for Gainsboro. So now I think it's rushing through the caverns to... Yes, I thought so. Kill the ankyloscorpion. Wow, that didn't last long. And this feat of strength has emboldened it to amend its name. What was wrong with Akmam? Ah. Children and genetically fabricated horrors beyond human imagination can be so unthinkingly cruel. Here's something I don't normally say. We bought something useful from the elves. Well, useful might be a bit strong. Interesting, perhaps. This 5-year-old male leopard being dwarf-handled by Deucim. He's being trained for war, the leopard, not Deucim. And Deucim is doing it because, unlike our much more qualified Deucim is a woodcutter. And I guess not an old lady. Okay, maybe I'll give you this one, Deucim. But how good's that? We'll get him assigned to Erash, and once the dwarves are all outfitted in steel again, there'll be an extra set of claws and teeth set against those damnable goblins. Ooh, maybe we can get him a little helmet. Speaking of Erash, here she is now. Just caught her sleeping in the spare dormitory. Does she not have a room? Whoops. Well, never mind. She's far too focused a military mind to allow something as insignificant as a lack of proper bedroom to get her down. Me, I hope so. She's strong as an ox. Could you imagine her tantrum? As you can see, we're getting closer to the nails at least being properly armoured again. It'll take a little longer for the maces. I've decided, seeing as we don't have the steel, we may as well let Risen hone her craft with bronze for better maces in the end. We have a lot of bronze. And here's our human. Does not doing very well, I'm afraid. Something about being the only person out of 75 that can reach the top shelf seems to have gotten her down. That, or it's her unmet need to be with family and make romance. She does have a husband, of course, the unfortunately named Cecil Baby Passion, that visited our old fort of Channel Glazes. Taking a look at Legends mode, we can see... Oh, my me! Mr. Baby Passion is the leader of a band of human bandits. Band of bandits that have been seen in and around Scoopstick. Not only that, but it would appear Mr. Baby Passion, no, I refuse to call him Cecil, was actually born, or, well, okay, created at Scoopstick. I always knew he was a spoon. None of that helps Dirt, of course, but it's another one of those things that makes playing this game feel more like being some kind of omniscient deity floating above it all, unfettered by the winds of time. Another tick in the column marked "Buy this damn game and get playing." As for Dirt, well, it's hard to see what we could do for her beyond cutting her workload down. She's 70, but humans living with dwarves can find themselves reaching the ripe old age of 120. Something in the air, I guess. Dwarves are very gassy. So there's not much hope of her mortality taking the task off our hands. Hehe. Too dark? Snodford would have laughed. Hello, Barmy. Ah! What on my dimension of destiny happened to you? Far cry from your Baywatch days. Yes, get out of here. Go on. That's not old age either. Kobolds can hit 170. Yick! The humans are... Yes, Gainsboro, what is it?
Snodford wanted me to give you this.
A rock.
He spent all day shaping it for you. It's a dodecahedral dodecahedron. See how he folded it in the fourth dimension?
Yes, it's making my eyes vibrate. He shaped this today, did he?
Yup. Took him hours.
I bet. And he gave it to you?
Last week.
But he shaped it today?
Yes.
Thank you, Gainsboro. It's very nice. I'll just be getting back to the video now, okay? Oh, damn it. Mathcat has gone into a strange mood. She's an adequate furnace operator and... Wait, she's saying something, but I can't quite make it out. Glove. Well, that scans. She's taken over a carpenter's workshop, so I'm not massively excited. Best we can hope is she claims whatever she makes to clear that acquire object need. As usual, I've no idea whether that will work the way I think it will, but a deity can hope. Oh, and it would seem another human has taken a tumble down one of our slight declines. I'm going to have to remove the tree and install a railing. I swear it's the pomelos. It's like Kevin McAllister made our hills. Oh, good. We've one fully armed squad, and it's the bloody Sacs. Well, let's get to it. Here they come, funneling in from above the hollow hill. Me, I hope there aren't too many. Nails, get your fists ready. Following Atu, evil name, imaginative. And the nails are in, and Atu is Flatu. Sorry. The nails continue on, with some of the sacks firing away from the top of the wall. Oh dear, quite the mess being made of poor Ngazlu here. And he's down, and the sacks can focus fire on the hill. Following Abel and the barricaded nails as they push their way through raining bolts, advancing up the incline. Go, my warriors! Depending on the flesh and blood maces at the end of their arms. What marvels! Is that it? He's saying no reachable target. Does that mean no target at all, or is there a goblin in the river? Let's leave them to patrol. I think the only goblins left are our trio in the dungeon now. Yes, a quick search has brought us empty hands, so let's release the sacks from their station. I need to check on the hospital anyway. Oh, not now! The dwarf fortress reminding me it already has dinosaurs beast. Ozob has come. I swear I'll work on the assets for next episode. Maybe. It's on a separate layer to the monitor, so I think we're safe to let it bumble around whilst we check on the hospital. Though we thought that about Anyori, and I'm sad to say it turns out he was in fact killed. Suffocated to death after fighting another beast called Obi Rustache, which is clearly Rustache, but when written down looks like the way Scooby-Doo would say mustache. I never mentioned Obi because I've never seen him. Such an ignoble end for our previously beaky baron. Oh good, Ozob fell in the cavern lake when we weren't looking. Bloody Ceratopsid. So, we're at the hospital and we can see that only Saigon was injured, which is a little hard to believe given the mess our defences are in. It looks like she's being tended to, so we'll leave it at that. Good work, dwarves. Now, I thought it prudent to take a look at the cleanup, so we'll follow Mistum as she hauls goblin bits. Yes, there we go. Now it's gruesome, but it's just a part of war. A war that we shall, of course, win. Back at the hospital, and it would appear Vutok was injured at some point too. Don't worry about Ast, I think she's just changing her baby. No, you missed a new dwarven addition. That's fine, it's an ugly baby anyway. Oh my me, I forgot Muthcat was making an artifact. Well, she's done, and she's made a chair. Uthar Tath Tak. The first wasp? Yes, because when I need to sit, my mind does always go to wasps. And it's covered in spikes and rocks and... Oh, no, I know what this is! Look, it's got an image of one of our attacks down into Wicked Tomes on it. This is a rare dwarven artifact indeed. Allow me to explain. When a dwarf is overburdened with the horrors of war and wishes to make a stand, they do it sitting. By creating a chair of incomparable discomfort, they can ask their leaders to park it and think about what they've done. Before long, the heavy burden bearing down on the pointed arguments of the chair are quick to stimulate the minds of those currently skewered. Not least because dwarves' brains are in their arse. Makes sense, no? Only thing that doesn't make sense is that Muthcat isn't in our military, but does want to be. Hoping to change the outfit from the inside? Well, eating donkey intestines in Durr's house isn't going to get you anywhere. Beyond Durr's house, of course. Ah, well, thank you for the chair, Muthcat. I'll sneak it into Moldath's office for a laugh. What's all this? Violation of production order. Injured party is Moldath Urith Fikard, Duke of Hammerlock. Convicted is Aban Asmel Tunom. What production order could Aban have violated? Aban's a minor, isn't she? Yes, here she is, being carted off to the dungeons. What on my dimension of destiny is going on? No, that's all we need. An Etin. Well, we're pretty experienced in dealing with these now, so I don't see it being a long distraction. The nails are, of course, already on their way. Alarmed at seeing a goblin's corpse. Oh boy, you're not going to have a very good time. Here we go. Already exhausted and heavily bleeding. And dead. Oh look, there's Aban. So yes, Aban is being incarcerated for, I think, me not being quick enough to fulfill Moldath's unending cries for bloody coins. Our first criminal in Hammerlock, and it's a confused minor with less to do with any real crime than one of our Hollow Hill pigs. This was not why I created the dungeons. Ah well, at least they picked a good dwarf for it. Aban here disdains leisure time, so standing in a messy room chained to the floor shouldn't bother her too much. Yes, see? Her face is still lined with the giddy joy of the anxious. Dwarves. Look what I found! It would seem our scholars have done it again. We've got a new book. Meditations on the People, authored by Astesh. It's not a particularly pleasant read. It would appear Astesh is still a little bitter about being our expedition leader for a time. He never was a people person, but you must admit it was brave of him to write what amounts to a dwarven burn book. But of course Obok is a fagly skunk, that's just facts. Here he is, pondering reproductive behaviour. Hard not to, surrounded by all these fornicating apes. He seems well. I think he let all the venom out in the book. Just you keep your nose clean, Mr. Ceiling Youths. Then we have another piece by Udil entitled A Course on the Mountain Home. It's another piece about Hammerlock, which we can't have too many of in my opinion. And despite it having prose that is not awful but not very good either, it is one of the most highly regarded literary works in all of the Dimension of Destiny. That is, of course, by dint of being one of only 5 things in the whole dimension that can actually be read. That's right. The dwarves of Hammerlock are the only owners of any literary works that don't actively tie a demon to this realm of reality. Which makes them a little less badass, but is still a fantastic thing to learn. Udil Lashland is the most prolific author in the entirety of the Dimension of Destiny. Good me, their toilet breaks must be swift and dull. There are worse dwarves that could be named in that sentence. Astesh springs to mind as one, in all honesty, but still, it's not one I thought would ring true. There isn't a day goes by when I don't wonder if it mightn't have been better to let a few centuries pass before starting this whole YouTube thing. Ah well, no sense crying over spent time. Keep up the good, fine, just keep it up, Udil. And I'm calling it. Snodford will be here any minute and I've got a decision to make. Yes, I can hear you out there, Gainsboro. Give me 2 minutes, would you? So, yes. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed yourselves today, and I'll see you again next time. Anu Zeshon, you most wonderful of individuals. Anus Eshon. Hello everyone, John here. For anybody new to the channel, I'm the man behind the deity that you've just been listening to. I wanted to poke my head in and say hi and thank you all for watching. When I started Crumpet Sounds, it was with the hope that my eclectic brand of humour would find an audience of like-minded weirdos, and I'm over the moon to find I was quite right. This isn't the biggest channel, but I don't think it should be. My writing, drawing, editing and voice acting have come on leaps and bounds since I started, but I've still got a long way before I can consider myself to be a legendary content creator. So I wanted to thank you all for supporting me while I'm learning. The outpouring of positivity makes this labour of love all the easier to work on week after week, and for that, I honestly can't thank you enough. Oh, and as of release day, it has just been my birthday. So the episode being a tiny bit shorter is my gift to me. Look after yourselves and thank you. Really, Phlegm? You're really gonna let me come back? Really? But I'm warning you, Snodford, you are on thin ice. Understood? Graham?
I just love you guys.
No, Graham. Ah!